Hey guys, Devil92 here, and today we're going to go over the test construction set for Oblivion. Um, Came out with Oblivion, well, not long after Oblivion. This is for the PC only. Even using a transfer cable, you will not get any of these mods that you make for Oblivion for the PC to ever work on the 360, so forget that idea now. This is probably going to be a two-parter, maybe a three-parter, just going over how to use the test construction set. So I'm not going to tell you how to download it, even though I'll put links in the description box where you can download it from the official website if you don't have it already. So you wanted to know how to make gear and that, like 500 speed and modify weapons and damage and stuff like that. So after you've downloaded it and it's installed, go Bethesda Softworks, Oblivion, and then I'll have the Elder Scrolls construction set. Just open it up. Now, if this is your first time opening it, you might be a bit, scared of all these windows that pop up. Cell view basically is going to have nothing apart from these two. These are going to have no really weapons or anything in them, and the render window won't show anything. Because every time you start this, what you'll have to do is click data, and oblivion.esm is what you'll have to double click, and when it's got the little cross on it, you click OK. Now it's called a master file because that loads every weapon, house, building, door, every single object in the game. It loads it into this, so it may take a while. But if you look down here, it says loading files 30%. See up here it says not responding, but it is responding. It says 30% and then it's done. I don't know why Windows does that. Anyway, as you can see now on ammo, all the arrows are here. The stones, the leveled items, the actors. So first of all, we want something in this render window where we're going to place an item. So let's I'm sure you know the exteriors and interiors mean. Interiors being inside and exterior being outside. So in interiors, we can look for. Actually, we're not going to be in interiors since we want to place it outside, so it's easier. And we will just use the Imperial City. When it says IC, that means Imperial City. So then we're going to use the Imperial City Market District. Now, all these here, are all different places of the Imperial City Market District. And this window is all the objects within the Imperial City Market District. So we're going to just click the first one. Now you may get errors popping up like I do, and you'll see it in a second. You'll get all these. Don't worry, these usually always happen. Sometimes they won't, sometimes they do. You just click yes to all and keep closing them. And then oops. They don't mean anything, they don't do anything, so just leave them. Now what you want to do is if you want to get right to the bottom fast without like scrolling down using the mouse wheel, what you can do is after you've clicked the building of that, you could just push the letter T, and that'll bring you right on the top view of it. Now to move around in the render window, you hold spacebar and then you just move your mouse. That's that simple. You just move your mouse when holding spacebar. To like go down like a view like this, you hold shift and then move your mouse. So now that we've got a place where we're going to place our item right beside this bit, we're going to these little this marker here is a door marker, which shows you when the player comes out of that door, that's where he's going to be facing. You'll see some of these on it. If you don't want to see any of these, just push M on your keyboard and they'll all disappear. It doesn't delete them, it just stops them from showing you while you're doing whatever you're doing. Make sure you don't click and drag items, since that will actually change the item. You can always just click edit and undo that if you've done something you don't want to do. Now we're going to create a weapon that does like 500 damage or something like that. So you click items and go to weapon, and we'll actually stretch this out a bit. see if we can. There, right? You've got all these weapons. So I like the look of a katana, which is the wee weapons here. So I'll go for one of these. Now, you don't want to edit one that's already in the game, because if an NPC ends up having that, well, if they hit you, you're pretty much fucked, unless you've got God mode on. So what you want to do is you want to click. Actually, no wait. Let me think. I've not used this in a while. Yeah, I think I know what to do. Now, if you've noticed, these are in alphabetical order. You know, you've got your A, your B, your C, then it goes to M and T and so on. To make sure it's easier to find, what you want to do is when you know, it's given the ID. So if I'm going to name this, you know, I'd put like a couple of A's in front of it and then put like YouTube. Well, you wouldn't put YouTube, but I'm just putting YouTube for some random thing. And when you click OK, it'll ask you that the old ID has changed from the form's ID. Now you don't want to edit that one already, because as I said, if an NPC or if it's part of a quest, you're going to screw that up. So when you click yes to create new form, there's the original, but you've also got your new one up here, which has copied all the stats in that from that sword onto this one. So there's the name. We can change that. We can then click to make it, is it a one-handed, a two-handed, is it blunt or blade, or is it a bow or a staff? We'll just choose it. You can actually make it to hold it as a bow or hold it as a staff, so whatever we want. We'll do blade two-hand. I won't go into scripting in this tutorial right now. I'm not going to go into that. Now here's the enchants. These are all the enchants you could put on it. But as we were saying, we want our very own enchant. So we can add as many enchants as we want and stuff like that. I will be showing you how to make them too. Here's the weight. Now these are different. These are different different values. Like that weight is 24, and it's got a bunch of zeros. That doesn't mean it weighs like 24 million. It doesn't weigh that. It's just a 24. I can't remember what you call this, but whatever. So the health. You can ignore weapon resistance, or you can tick it to make it a quest if you want to make your own quest, which I also won't be going over in this tutorial. I'm just going over the really basic things. Okay, so I'm going to put the health to 99, just so you know when you hit something it doesn't break, damage or anything. The reach, you don't really want to mess with that unless you don't want your sword to hit somebody from miles away, which is quite stupid. The value at which it sells at, we'll just put 99 again. The speed, we're not going to edit that. The damage, well, I'll just put 99. Now this is a very overpowered weapon that will kill any NPC in one hit, so you might not want to do that. Now if you want to change the model of the weapon and the texture, if you know how to do this, go for it. If you don't, then I suggest you just leave it. I'll just pick a sword that you like from this bit. But if you do, you know, you can just select stuff like an armor bit and then thingy. But I would do that if it was armor, but this is a weapon, so I'd look for weapons and stuff like that and change it. We're not going to change that, so we won't be doing that. Now we've just got to actually quickly put this back since I clicked cancel. Whoopsie. No. So as you can see, it's at the top. Its name's YouTube, but the enchant, we still want an enchant on it. So what you're going to do is you'll see this little thing called enchantment, which is actually quite funny because yeah, never mind. Anyway, like same again. Choose any random enchantment you see here and just click edit. There are many ways to do this, but I do it this way. Right, so just delete this, and then remember to put the AAA so it goes right to the top, so it's easy to find. I will just call this YouTube, YouTube even, not YouTube. Now you can make it a scroll.